Okay, hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. We are back with Space Engineers, working with the created pirate faction I've got going on right now. All right, back on. So, what you guys are looking at, this giant retro-looking compact disc we have sitting up here, is actually the start of our new pirate starbase that me and the guys are doing. Well, mostly it's Dog doing this. He's been working up here. I've been working on stuff down. The little orange and black fighters right here are mine. The blue and white ones are Dogs. I believe we call those the broadswords. These little bitty ones are the sabers, and the sabers are, they're pretty quick for a little ship. I like them. And Dogs even made a few. You can see this is the original variant with the back end of it. And over here, Dog actually did some modifications, and in my opinion, made it look better from the rear. The broadswords are heavy hitters. You can see the assault cannons on there and the auto cannons just doing double duty, just really handling stuff. These here have their own rocket launchers and 4 Gatling guns, which are really effective. They're mostly an interceptor for like going in and hitting stuff. We are going to build a much bigger, more meaner multi-role aircraft. Nothing like the broadsword, maybe a little bit in size of the broadsword, but it will be just as fast as this. This is just a twin-engine fighter. We might even do a cheaper fighter that can just drop stuff like an F-16 like deal. But anyway, looking at my tab here, you'll notice that we've got one more spot that's open, and I've got to go down to the planet where we have our base at and get ourselves a nice new, oh boy, what is this doing out here? Is anyone in it? No, it might be a good idea to put this thing up while I'm at it. It's just sitting out here. I wouldn't want this thing to fall down to Earth. That's for darn sure. I don't think I can put it there, and I more than guarantee I can't put it there. Well, we'll drop it right over here. I suppose what we'll do. This is one of Dog's little welders. Gomer is on here, Ethan is on here, or Eli is on here as well. So, it's all of us having just a little bit of fun on here. I'm going to have to live stream this more, but I went to Florida for Thanksgiving. And had trouble getting back in the swing of things. But we're back today. There we are. And lock her in there. There we go. Click that number 8 on recharge and hop on out. There we go. So yeah, we've got one more of these fighters to get. I've actually got a video I'm going to put up of probably some little stuff where me and the guys are like grabbing these things and bringing them up. A 3-man fighter squadron of these little guys, bringing them up here. This is, I don't know how this base is going to work. We're right now doing the circle thing. We may expand and do other things with it. I don't know. We do have these sections here for more ships similar to the Manta here, which, see this thing, this has been our multi-purpose blue hedgehog. It may not go fast, but he does go hard. We'll put it like that. And what we need right now is down there. So we need one more fighter that we have on the ground that I'm going to have to bring up. And these things are really cool. When you guys see them, you'll love this, anyone that's watching. So that's where we're going to be heading first, down here to the ice area. I'm going to power up here, and we're just going to free fall for a bit. And hopefully we're going to be able to hit that going. As we are floating through space, this is just one of those things that's going to take time. Unfortunately, it just takes time. So I'm doing about 110 meters per second. We are just in total free fall right now, heading down to the Earth-like planet. We are leaving the CD for right now. But yeah, I'm gonna put once we finalized out how the sabers are gonna work, those are gonna be put up there. I'm gonna try and do a little bit extra to the saber just to make it more reasonable. The thing about the saber that people probably don't realize why we're using this ship design, it is wild. We were building it, and we came up with the idea of building something a little bit. It's kind of a funny story. I wanted to build something, and Dog makes a suggestion of, well, why don't you build something like a Viper from Battlestar Galactica? And it kind of came out looking like a combination of an Ether Sprite and one of the, basically the two Jedi starfighters that everybody knows from the Clone Wars, kind of mashed together with two twin engines, like with a major overhaul engine to it. They're rather insane how these things move and how they operate. Literally, you can strafe side to side. There's enough power in that thing, and its thrust to weight ratio is so obscene. In other words, the saber is way over thrusted for a small fighter craft, and its thrust to weight ratio is so topsy-turvy, I want to say, that you can hit the thrust going sideways, like you go right or left, and if you get close enough to an enemy ship, you can outrun the turret speed on the assault cannon turrets. They're just playing catch up while you just mow down their turrets one right after the other. It is wild, but it's got really hard. The steering on it, we're going to have to do something with, because holy crap, that thing, if you bump your mouse button, it'll flip like a quarter end over end. Be sitting there saying, I don't know what Two-Face is going to do with Batman, because I am so messed up right now. I don't even know which way is up. That being said, but right now, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just gliding into the planet for right now, and then when we get done, I'm probably going to start building some sort of corvette, maybe, that can be taken to planet and brought back up. But I don't know how I'm going to build that corvette. That's the kicker. I don't know how we're going to build it. I tried building it down here, but the problem is with Earth gravity, it is very hard to build or control what you're building while you're down there. Because gravity's in the way, and you've really got to plan and piece together things. And I'm apparently not very good at working on one side of a ship and just moving to the other one. I'm going to have to build it as I go. So I got to frame it and do some other stuff. I don't know what kind of small ship we're going to build, but I am going to try and build some type of lightweight assault frigate that we can load the sabers onto and take the fight to the Factorum. Because eventually we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to do one of these unidentified signal things. Bring the Manta to bear with all of its guns, because it is technically a corvette by standard. It has more than one engine, and I'm not sure how fast it is. It's probably pretty nimble. But then we're going to bring an assault frigate into the fight, so that, and the way the assault frigate's going to work is we're going to have a couple of open tops on the frigate so that we can launch fighters, and maybe have a small bay for the fighters that we can, just work on them when they're down. So we can just bring a whole bunch of sabers and maybe a broadsword or two. And the broadswords have worked out very well. We've actually tested these things, the broadsword in assaults. We've honed it, worked on it. What y'all haven't seen is what's gone on when I'm not on. So all weekend long, the guys just went out and started hitting bases. They've hit like 5 or 6 bases already. And Dog basically streamlined the broadsword to such a degree now that it can just fly close to the target and he can get several well-placed shots and just set it to weapon systems. And we can take a base and just rip its weapon systems to pieces. I told him when he got done, he was showing up. Me and him went and assaulted a base out in the desert over here somewhere. And when we went and assaulted that base, I got to watch the broadsword, and it did about 2 or 3 good passes. We lost the Hemet in the process, but that was my bad. But we got done with that, and I watched as the broadsword just took care of business. It just took out all the base defenses, and that was it. And I was just I was impressed. I was like, oh man, one of these things is bad A. I said, we need something that's fast and agile that can get the broadsword in close, because the main issue with the broadsword is you have to dodge while you're shooting. And even though the guns are turreted, if the broadsword could fly just a bit more smoother, and it wasn't doing combat, it wasn't jinking and combat maneuvering, it could land serious blows onto a ship and take out systems. There was one part where he actually landed the killing blow, and he was in the process of a juke. The gun fired, he leveled off and flew straight for about 2 to 3 seconds, and that got enough fire off the assault cannons that they were able to finish off the turret. So if it's stable, it works really good, and that's the purpose of the sabers. The sabers are like, if we run into an enemy drone, we can fly out there and just harass it. 2 guys can go up there and pull some Klingon hunter-killer tactics. I guess would be the best option for that one. All right, now going up here, planet side gravity is 0.48. Now 0.49. As I use a little bit of my jetpack to get myself almost over target. And I may just take this fighter and just go straight up with it. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're doing the faction we're doing right now is Red Rock Raiders, Triple R. I know it kind of sounds like Team Rocket from Pokemon. But the plan is we're going to build up a small force and just straight up pirates, and we're just going to go do some piracy while we're in planet. Go over here. The base is kind of at an angle. We've built it there, I believe, for resource purposes. The worst part of this is I'm going to get down there, and then we're going to have a few seconds where everything has to load back in. That's going to be fun. Also, the big ship, the land ship that I built, it just blew up. Don't have any idea what happened. All I know is I got on and everyone said, yeah, the land ship exploded. I'm like, oh yeah, well, how'd that happen? We don't know. I got to look at that later. I think something clanged on the base and broke loose, and then it just shot off across the ice and just smacked it and destroyed it, is what it looks like. Because if I found just what would I call it? If I just found pieces of the rover ship out there, I'd be suspicious about what's going on. But I looked out there and there were welder pieces. There were like giant welders, large block welders everywhere out in the ice. And I was like, oh, something serious happened here. I don't know what it is. All right, here we go. And down here just to stay on target. Right now I'm trying to keep myself in the general vicinity, because right now we are still far enough out that a major mistake can happen and I can be off target. Did I die? Oh, tell me I did not stop that right before I hit the ground. Like, how high am I up?
Fuel low.
I know that, but how high am I? Okay, so I took a hit because I'm at 70. I'm at 86 health. I took a tiny little blow, but I appear to be fine. That's all that matters. All right, here we go. That was freaky. Now, like I said, we did this with 3 guys last night. We've got 1 more fighter that has to go up. That's what I'm working on. Where did the welding platform go? Okay. Things are still loading in. Huh. All right. Yeah, stuff is loading in right now. All right, so here's the saber. Like I said, a very, very capable little fighter we've got going on here. Now, time to take this bad boy and fly her to outer space, or as those in the GameStop thing said, to the moon, as it were. Kick this baby on. Disable. Here's the best part. Back here, before we take off, we can hit number 5. Let me get this a little higher so you can see this. Up, hit number 5. And we have these really cool S-foils that pop out. Probably can't see it very well because there's not a whole lot of sunlight, but we'll fix that here in just a moment. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jerk this sucker completely straight up. And we're going to fly straight up into the air. I'm going to turn off my inertial dampeners. I want to keep myself about as up there as I can. Now we're going to pulse this thing up to higher orbit. And the easiest way to do this, to get this ship to up there with the least amount of fuel usage, is just set straight up, turn off inertial dampeners, and just let it coast up little bits at a time. Now what happens is, the higher off of gravity I get, the easier this is going to become, and I won't be using as much fuel. We're not past the mark of beating gravity yet. We are still fighting gravity all the way up, so this is going to be a little bit of an audacious task. There we go. Gravity is starting to fail. This means that we're going to get more bang for our buck. With each thrust, we're going to go further. Now you want to have inertial dampeners off because you're going to be fighting yourself the whole way as you're flying. You see now it's taking a little bit longer every time to get this thing to pulse, so we're not using as much thrust. Every thrust is just taking a little bit longer to slow down as we get up here. Setting up at 69, folks. We're just going to coast this baby up to the top. That's what we're doing right now. Look around here a bit. We are leaving planetary gravity. But the fun part about this is now we're clear of the atmosphere at this point, and we're at a point where probably other engines could start taking effect. 0.40 G's. And we're still doing good, getting this baby up off the ground. That's the plan today. That's why I redid this entire series, because I wasn't really sure how we were going to do it. And I thought, we got a cool base we're working on up top. Let's just do that. I'll come on. We'll do a couple episodes of us talking about things. We are probably going to launch an attack at some point against the Factorum, because we've been just building up. It's been this idea of we're being cautious, we're being careful, we're going to hit the Factorum when we're at the best possible point. Flying up here pretty good. Yeah, you don't realize how fast how the saber operates until you see it like pass something. I must say, this is my new record for getting up here, because right now we're at 24 Gs, 0.24 Gs, and I've got 84% of my hydrogen tank left. I suppose you could create a pulse engine that could get a fighter from point A to point B. And also the possibility I could spin launch this thing too. I haven't figured out how to quite do that yet, though. But yeah, this here is just more of a short range little fighter that can get up to an area. For those wondering, all the guns do work. Kind of threw me off target a little bit. Yeah, it can tear into another ship pretty effectively. It's not supposed to be uber destructive, like, oh my gosh, it's the ultimate fighter. This is not what this is. This is, we're building something specifically for a very specific purpose. And that purpose is interception and destroying and light attack. I am planning on building some type of electronic recon fighter that can... It'll be a two-seater, and the way it'll operate is we'll have drones, we'll have radar on it, its own personal radar system. It'll also have some observation equipment, so we can turn on the observation equipment, one guy can take pictures while the other guy flies it, making it one of the cooler ships that'll be out there. Alright, we're 12 Gs, we're almost there. Now when I say this thing moves, it moves. When you get the turn on it, it's nimble enough that it stays on its turn axis. And then if you want to, like I said, you can almost flip end over end with this thing rather quickly. It does not take much. Let's see, we're at 10 gravity. Let's get some speed going here. We're heading off to more friendlier pastures. Unknown signal. It's going to go just drift all the way down there for no real apparent reason. But yeah, I'm very sorry I hadn't been able to get back on. It's just been nightmarish with scheduling and everything else, and work. Work of all things has been a nightmare. I got enough of a tank. I could do some flybys on this asteroid before we get going somewhere. I'll let everything load in first. go. 0706. So hopefully as we get up here, we'll be able to do this. Well, we are doing this. It's up here. But I'll do a couple. Once everything loads in, I'll do a couple flybys of the asteroids. You can see just how nimble this thing is. Because you don't realize how quick a ship is in Space Engineers until you actually try to shoot it or you actually watch that thing fly. Okay. Let's ourselves on the side of the base and just punch forward for a bit until everything straightens up, and then we'll just let her go. And we can just fly this little baby all the way over there. Now that we're up here in space, y'all can see it better. We can just hit 5. You can see the S-foils coming in close. This is really simple to do, by the way. All right, most of y'all that have played Space Engineers, you're like, oh, this is a real simple thing to do, Patrick. Yeah, but it looks cool when you do it. Also, I've taken shots from assault cannons, and it has just bounced off this extra shielding right here. It just seems to help out a lot. It seems to be rattling just a bit. May have to put a lock in there or something. Don't know what we're going to call the space base. We talked about calling it, we got it black with blue. We talked about calling it the Obsidian Disc, but I don't know what we're going to call it. Okay, that's where the base should be at. You can see brick welder, I can see a bunch of other stuff. I see a freaking ship up there. SAEN mine layer. What is it doing? We have no active defenses on this base yet. Like I said, you have no idea how fast this thing is until it goes at something and comes to a complete stop on it. Like I said, we can zip on over to an asteroid. You can see how this thing like jerks in around it. We can do that real quick, you guys. Like I said, very nimble for a fighter. Trying not to hit the asteroid. because I'm painfully aware of just how fast this thing is moving. Now you see just how quick this thing is. Just gonna lock onto that right there. And we're just gonna come forward a bit. Down, hit number 5, bring those S-foils in nice and dirty. Just ready to lock on right now. And we're filling it up. There we go. Yeah, these little guys are quick. The broadswords, like I said, they're a little bit slower. Ooh, I'm lagging just a tiny little bit here. But these little guys here will just zip in and take you out. How am I? Okay, we're just going to activate the thruster pack. We're going to move around a little bit. But yeah, between these things and the Manta, we've got a pretty cool set of guns and fighters working here. So we got the weapons to defend ourselves should we need to. We just need a way of getting most of our fighter craft over to the Factorum. And that's the thing, fighter craft work very well in this game. They're working very well right now. We've got a military SERN military mine layer. I don't want to commit one of the fighters yet, because we do not have the equipment built up here, the infrastructure to build that. We're probably going to take apart the base down there. We've already got a grinder, start taking apart the small stuff, and then we're going to start building large stuff up top. And we're going to start building welding arrays and things of that nature. We're going to have to come up with a much better welding system than what we have down the bottom. Like the 3D printer system we have down there is really good. It's really good. Let me check on something here real quick, just to make sure. Yeah, I am talking. All right. So I was sitting there looking at that, and I forgot to check whether I was talking or not. Let me just see while I'm... Yeah, we're talking. We're talking. Just making sure the live stream is good. Just making sure the live stream is good. So, we're going to pop off a few of these bad boys. What I'd like to do is branch off here from somewhere. What is that? Oh, that's just a... That's a nifty... That's a neat way to pipe up something. There we go. But as of right now, I need to try and figure out how to build a frigate or something that we can use. Let's see. Where am I going to put this block at to start? We are going to have mining carriage places for the ships and stuff. We'll do something here. Drag it back this way as much as I can. As I figure out the overall shape of this thing. And that's the kicker. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna shape this ship. He is getting closer. At the speed he is moving, I wonder if he's going to get caught. Because he's 7 kilometers that direction, he would get caught by the planet's gravity, and it would pull him in a little bit, I would think. Yes, yes, yes. I know the ion thrusters would probably help him. That's not what I was saying. And thank you to everybody that corrected me on that. It was most appreciative. Y'all, that was like the ultimate bro move by the whole entire channel. They were like, "Yeah, we can't let Badger go around looking like an idiot all the time, so we're gonna step up and say something." Okay. I may have went a little too tall there. There we go. We're gonna do that. Okay, this is about the size of a Corvette, at least an interior that I normally build. And the question I have to myself is, what am I going to do with it? Really, we need missiles. Because I could just launch a few missiles and send them right at that Joker and just be done with it. But he's far enough off, I don't think he's going to try and come this way. If he does, I may give him a taste of the broadsword. I'm not taking the Manta because we need that ship. I don't have the, what is word? Let's see now. We have 3 of these set up. Let's just sit here in space for a minute and look at it. This is like the show with the, what is it? Graphics designer, where he sits there and he gets ready to do it, and he sits down, then he just starts changing fonts. It takes him forever. He straps in, he gets ready, he sits down, graphic designer, he looks out over his deal, does a few karate moves, then he starts changing fonts. That's where we're at right now in this. I'm trying to figure out what my next move is. I don't know what it's going to do. Okay. We're going to try and get this thing to look good, but also function well. I don't know what I want to build here. We could build a Corvette. Could build some type of Corvette, but I don't know how this Corvette's going to operate on the ground and everything. Like, if I drop it to Earth, I'm liable to lose it. That'd be the case, I could build something with a set of wings and enough downward thrust, enough atmospheric thrusters that it could get itself up off the ground. That's a possibility. I don't know. I seriously don't know. We're just working with it right now. Let's see. I could slap an engine in here just to see how that looks. Where's my big hydro engines? We'll slap that in there. So now we got a hydrogen engine. For a small range Corvette we're going to be using. And I've got to figure out where we're going to slap the next deal. Now we have a lot of options, build a Corvette with. I wonder what would be better. I wonder if building a Corvette with one hydrogen tank or doing a set of nacelles with a singular hydrogen tank. Let's see how big that would be. Nacelle system on this would be heavy. I don't think it would work good. Especially with the baffled nacelle system. That kind of works better with bigger ships. Let's see here. Let's see here. Got one nice engine right there. Can I put two engines on it? That would be fun. Do two engines on either side of a wing system. Fly that in. That would be a interesting. Or I could just build something kind of long and homeworld-like. I kind of want to put two engines on this thing now, just to give it some speed. I want a fast Corvette. Maybe we can do that. Let's do that. Let's put two engines on it. Grab number 6 here. And we're going to slap two big old... Well, if we can get it right. There we are. And could slap two giant, massive hydrogen engines on this thing, and it would be really fast. It'd be quick, but not fast. Hit thrusters on this thing, and it would just blast its way right out of there. Let's go ahead and grab a few more pieces. And we'll try to figure out how this thing is going to go together. Most of this is just wireframing is what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out A, some internals, and B, how I'm going to make all this stuff go together. There's a part of me that likes this, and there's a part of me that doesn't. Dog, you in? Just gonna see what the space is on his. Okay, yeah, this will be a narrower
Energy low.
little ship. Oh no, I need energy. God help me. Let's recharge the batteries right there. Get the batteries recharged. Get back out there and start working on it again. Now the thing is, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet with it. Trying to figure out hold on a moment.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
What you want today?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. Sounds stupid, but I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
So what's your goal here?
What?
So what's your goal? You don't know what you're
The
doing.
goal here is to build a Corvette, but it's I'm working on it. I don't know how we're doing it. I'm trying to build a pirate Corvette. It's not coming out the way I want it to.
Well, build it like
Or at least I haven't.
fighter.
At least I haven't gotten anywhere where I want it to. No. It's not that I want to build it wider. I'm just trying to look at it right now and figure out how I'm going to do it.
No,
I
what
want
I'm saying
20.
is like. What I'm saying is, you can build a Corvette like one of these fighters and just build it like that. in Large Creek.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get the whole thing to work together. I've got an idea on how to make something that looks good. I just gotta make it. I just gotta get most of the other stuff together. This is the hard part about building this crap. Oh, everything else.
Well, like if you, for instance, if you want to build it like the broadsword, two tanks with a thruster trench, and figure everything else out from there, then you got your side by side and your brakes to figure out.
I might do
Figure
two
out the whole.
tanks. That might help. But I gotta get the tanks built up. Don't weld on it yet. Because I know how you guys are. You're like, oh, let's help out. And then I'm sitting
I
there, I'm
wasn't
like,
gonna go
I may
on it.
have
I was gonna
changed
get
my
it over
mind.
here.
It's not that. Sometimes I change my mind and it's like, it's all welded up. I'm like, ah, boy, how am I gonna get around this?
Oh, trust me, I think I've got some plumbing issues in my base that I've missed. And I'm dreading trying to figure out where the hell they are. So
Do
I feel
that
you
and
on that.
we'll slap a, we'll slap this
Nothing
right there.
serious.
There we go. Most of the systems are... So we got some tanks. We're building this thing, and it's getting pretty good size now. That'll work for the moment. Now I wonder... Because I was stating on here, I kind of want to do like a wing design. So it's kind of like a bird of prey like looking deal from Star Trek, but with more of a pirate aspect.
Are you talking about a wedge or a wing? Because like mine's the Manta's a wedge.
Yeah, the man is a wedge. This will be like a wing. It'll have two wings coming around the sides to fight with.
Kind of like a big, kind of like the Air Force bomber.
Mm, no,
You know,
you've seen like Vorcha and stuff like that in Star Trek.
well, that's about like an Air Force bomber because there's the one that's the flying wing or the stair step trailing edge.
Yeah, I'll get it. It's just gotta take me time to figure out how I'm gonna place everything because I gotta figure out where I'm gonna place the thrusters and everything for reverse thrust. I'm gonna try and build something cool, but something cheap at the same time that we can have a few of them. I may build a small interconnected neck so we can have like two fighters inside this thing that you can just jump right into and take off. Oh,
Look up
things that have to be done.
the B2 Spirit and the B221 Raider is what I was referencing.
Oh yeah, I know what those are.
Okay.
I
I was
live in
asking if
Missouri. I know what those are.
No, I thought you said like a flying wing with wings, and that's what it come to mind. That would
Nah,
look
this will
cool.
be a. It's not a flying wing with wings. It's
Flying wing with reverse wings? That would look cool too.
kinda, but it's also got a neck. It looks more like a bird than anything else.
Well, birds have reverse wings when they stretch out and glide like eagles.
Yeah. And that instability is what gives them such a great way of maneuvering.
Oh yeah.
See here. Can I do it? Do I have it here? I don't have it here. Where's it at? There we are. Where
I'm going to
is...
build climbing arms down below on the bottom of the station.
Okay.
Do you get to where you need help? Give me a call. Well, we know you need help. You know what I
Yeah, I know what you mean.
mean.
Okay, we'll do that. It's gonna give me a big rear end, but
That's what she said.
let's see. I got that figured out. The new question is, Got to watch the time too, because it's like in just a few minutes. I've been on here for about an hour, but in just a few minutes, I'm gonna have to run and get my kid. Which
That
is the
sounds
sad
awesome.
thing about live streaming, man. Dear Lord. Let me see something here.
You keep live streaming and leave, and I just keep doing stuff, and people watch me. Just a thought. I'm trying to bring traffic to you, so
I just ran out of steel plates. Yes, I did. Huh. There we go.
catch
I got
up
a
on my
nifty idea
Paramount.
for this. What?
Let's catch up on my Paramount Plus shows. Binge watched them all morning.
Oh, really? What'd you binge watch?
The new episode of Yellowstone, Landman, and Minus Special Operations.
There used to be a show called Spec Ops. I loved it. It had like 3 episodes on Netflix, and that was all they put in. And
I
it
hate
was
when they do that.
amazing. Oh, it was amazing. It was one guy versus a team of special forces operatives,
Huh,
and he had to outflank and outmaneuver them.
that sounds implausible.
Oh no, he was like a some type of really good Spec Ops guy, like former Delta Force or
Delta.
something. Yeah, that's the only way you would survive something like that is if you were a Delta, in my opinion. I don't even have military experience, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way you got to be Delta to pull that shit off. But he did. He pulled off some crazy stuff a lot of times. Sometimes he won, sometimes he didn't. There was
You
one
know,
where
there's
he fought a dude. He fought a team of Navy guys, Navy Special Ops, some type of Navy Ops unit, and they had taken a boat and they were the terrorists, and he didn't get the hostage saved, but he managed to disarm. He managed to set 3 bombs inside the ship and take the whole ship out. But he's like sneaking through the ship the whole time. The whole thing's built like a maze, so he's like Solid Snake running around in there doing stuff. Okay, I'm gonna need some 1 plates.
what other spiffy.
We don't have any interior plates.
Well, I buy. That's why I mined a bunch of iron
Dear
shuttle.
God, that was quick.
Well, I've got 4 assemblers and this one slave, the 3 slave to the other one.
I popped in like 100 and they were done in like 2 seconds. Like, ding!
Yeah,
Here you go.
that's why I built all the manufacturing first before I started building the station as well. That helps.
Yeah, well, now we just need like 3D printing for like large ships and small ships, and we're done.
But
I
we got
really
to
want
tear
to see
down.
what's the size difference in the Saber versus the. Oh, there's not that much. I
Mine's
bet we
all.
could do a through printer. We just attach like a red block to the butt end of each ship, and then just pull them through.
idea.
It'll weld them up. The sabers just need a little bit of like hand welding, and they'll work fine.
Yeah, that's because you got subgrids. That's the only thing I love subgrids, but like you want to print something, subgrids kick you in the nuts.
Nope, hold up, I got a phone call.
Oh, folks, I'm down here doing stuff on the bottom of the station that you probably can't see because I'm not on Badger's cam. So he's on the phone. Here we go. Plan for this is to make this a badass station, burnable, deployable, all kinds of stuff. So there you go.
Energy low.
Yep. Grandma's sick, and I've got to go pick up the kid today.
That stinks. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Grandma gets well.
I'm thinking for the fighters, we probably just put our names on which ones we're using, because then I can
Well, like
see
on my
I can see who's out there. My question is this: does the radar also detect friendlies?
yes, but I don't think it locks on. You have to have it set to enemies. That's in the distance to target, and it's looking, and the defense box looks for enemies.
Okay, is there any way we
Speaking of
could set it
enemies,
up? Could we set up a separate system for friendlies? I figure that should be a thing. We can lock, because I'm asking, because we can lock spotlights on friendlies.
I've never really looked into like finding friends on here that way. Um,
What's it take? It takes like
what
one
I was gonna
megawatt
say,
to charge up a frick. It takes like 1 megawatt, doesn't it, to charge up a jump drive? About to punch myself in the face. My brain won't work.
well, I was gonna mention something. I have inset LCDs on either side of my broadswords.
Hmm.
So, like, we all have Discord icons, and and we can put a text in it. Oh no, that's what that's for, actually. Like, we can have unit and like pilot icons on the broadswords, and you can do the same thing with the sabers with inset LCDs.
Yeah,
If you want to know the difference, whose is
we
whose
could
and
we
what's
could
what.
jump it and we could go jump on there and see if we can do that sometime.
Well, I've got a program I downloaded to turn your icon into
Jump
an
drive.
LCD file that you can load into an LCD screen. But yeah, that's why I put those LCD screens on the broadsword. So like you can have like your icon and maybe like Colonel Badger or something like that, and text on the other side or however you're going to do it. Or you come up with a unit insignia or whatever, whatever, whatever.
Well, I was thinking what we can do is take the actual grids and sign them up so we can see each other when we're flying around just by the HUD.
Uh,
I'm also planning on building some type of electronic warfare fighter that has decoy drones that'll harass ships and whatnot and really fancify it out.
well, what I had good luck with was decoy torpedoes.
Yeah,
You
that's what I'm
just put
saying.
decoy and just launch torpedoes with decoys in them. And all of a sudden, you watch all the guns go toward the torpedo, and it's really small and really fast, and just you have AI blocks making it do like crazy stuff, and it's pulling out of the fire. It's like advanced chaff. Well, that's not going to charge you with all its engines. So, oops.
I think it's 4 small nuclear reactors will do the job.
I put 8 on the mana because I got jump drive. So you're going to make it jump capable.
Yeah, I've got 1 jump drive. Hold up, more people calling.
Uh-oh.
Lord, like 5 people have to call, tell me the same thing over and over again.
At least you know that.
Yeah.
At least you're in the loop for real.
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
I'm not. Usually they'll do something like this and then they'll be like, oh yeah, we forgot to tell you about it. I'm like, really? How did that work out?
Well, what happened was check out the bottom of the station when you get a chance. I'm doing some decorating.
Okay. No, let's not do that. Things look fairly even. Let's get a battery. If I was wondering, no, we have not gotten the new batteries yet. I'm really looking forward to those once we get one.
One of the things I've been thinking about building and going maybe into creative with Prototech is building a U-wing from Star Wars.
Yep.
So those 4 Prototech engines look like they'd fit for a U-wing build for those engines. Just make a large, good, large ship.
Hmm. Man, it's so difficult figuring things out. Actually, I tell
It's
you what,
all about.
we'll
Uh,
do. We'll just do 4 of those because there may be something I want to add to this.
well, if you're gonna make a hydrogen base, so uh, conveyor flow helps with the build. Sometimes you just think of it as like
Well, I got to build the conveyor system and everything up.
Or using like non-conveyor blocks that are conveyed for the conveyor system is one of the things I try to do.
Yeah.
That process, which we have different processes because everybody's different.
Yeah. The problem I'm having right now is getting this thing to where it will look like it'll work good. And the problem I'm running into immediately
It is.
is I don't know. Well, maybe I do now. Maybe I do know and I just don't. It's just not clicking properly.
Well, that's why I'm talking to you. Sometimes the sounding board is what you need to find inspiration
Hmm.
for the answer. I'll come look. All right.
This
So
is
you
why this is why
got,
I wireframe up so much before I start welding in because I don't have creative options.
well, it's a little long.
Yeah, I know.
Are you wanting a stubby wing build like the and keep hitting pounding that drum like a the Air Force bomber, or are you looking for
I
a
don't know.
long pivot?
I don't know. If this doesn't go any further, I may just say F it and just build a frigate at some point. Just build a much larger ship with a few more facilities inside of it to run it.
You can do a Rocinante build and just go with one tank and maybe smaller tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Are
With a
your
frigate,
levels?
if I do a frigate, though, I would like to do like some nacelles on the side of it, which might be the best option here.
Hmm. So you got wireframing around the engine to the tanks.
Yeah,
The
and
reinforcements
I
here.
may just yank that off, set the engines one on top of the other, but with a little bit more of a, well, I don't know.
Well, see, if I was helping you and I'm not touching, because I'd run all your like, because you're gonna need H2O generators
I
to,
already
for
got that.
refueling. You got one, I see, but yeah, I don't know how
Yeah.
many you have. Well, the other thing I'd run is if I ran H2O generators, I'd either
See,
run.
if I built a frigate of some type, then we would be able to. I could put a refinery in it and two assemblers, and that would give me more stuff to shove into it. And I'm
I would
kind of
say,
leaning that direction, and I may do that just so I can put a couple of fighter craft bays on the side of it
you
and
know
go
what
from
you
there.
could do is could do instead of like being like having all the additional manufacturing, have it bare bones systems, and just dedicated to the combat. You got fuel, storage, and power, and that's it.
Well, with
Just
yeah, but you also need like jump drives and everything.
well, I'm not. I don't disagree. I'm just talking about no H2O, just tanks, batteries, reactors, tanks, and storage for ammo.
Yeah.
As subset. No like no manufacturing, no refineries, no
Well, no, I'm
assemblers,
not putting
no.
manufacturing in a Corvette. It's just I'm contemplating just chucking the Corvette idea and just doing a frigate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Either way, just pure make it work subsystems and no bells and whistles subsystem wise, and just try to make it lean and mean.
Yeah. So
Because like when
like
I
what I
built
got so
this, I built.
far, I do like how I do like some things that I've got
Energy
so far.
low.
I like the engine room design I've got going. But if I go bigger, then that's going to be
Energy low.
something I can't do with a ship. I can't do with the Corvette because I'm gonna need more power. Ah, decisions. Actually,
Well, see, do you like rooms for everything, or do you just like shoving things
oh,
all
I like
throughout
putting
your building?
rooms everywhere. I like having a nice ship you can walk
What
through
I'm
and
saying
enjoy.
is like there is a process where you just almost have just a cockpit or a helm and maybe a room, airlock off of it, and everything else is just blocks with no spacing packed in, and it's a combat ship.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna build a frigate because, like I said, we got a Corvette right now, and I've got a Corvette I can always pull out and
But what do you consider the Mantha? Because it's got two jump drives, two tanks,
a
and all
very
these
long,
weapons. It's
a long range, heavily armed Corvette.
okay.
Like in my doctrinal point, it's what is it supposed to do? And the Manta is basically like a Corvette. It's a smaller ship that's more nimble.
It's not
Probably call it a
exactly.
light. It's probably like a light, like an ultra light destroyer is what I would call it.
It's fast in straight line, but
That's a glass
it's
cannon.
true. Oh
At least
yeah.
that's how I would classify it as a glass cannon Corvette.
Well, what I tried to build it for was a do everything, jack of all trades, master of none ship,
Yeah,
but with lots of guns. That way we had like it's got a medical bay, it's got beds, it's like a mini base.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking. You could build another mini base ship, but that would be redundant. Which there's nothing wrong with redundancy, but you could also build a ship that's purpose built for just nothing but combat.
yeah. I am probably gonna break out.
Or you could build your carrier that you're talking about.
I'm probably gonna break out a couple designs here. I don't know what. The problem is
Oh,
right
you
now
grab.
I'm the problem is right now I'm pressed for time. I may do some building tonight if I can get on. I'll cut it down to this and see what I can do with this for the moment, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to make this thing work later. We'll probably get some type of frigate before it's over with. I think what I'm going
Oh,
to do, I'm going to use the Skybike as kind of a design template.
kind of like a sub.
Yeah, but I got to figure out
All
how I'm going to scale it.
right.
Because the Skybike is like 2 by 3, like 2 wide and 3 tall. And I could, if I do it like that, I could put some heavy engines on that thing, and then I could just manipulate everything around it and give it some good nacelles and
You know what you could do?
what.
Keep the central gas tank and just use no big thruster, but small thruster groups.
Well, if I do the 3 large blocks to every 1 small block, I could use the large blocks, and I would still have room inside for other things. Like it would have a massive amount of room. Because you think about it, for a jump drive, you really only need about probably 4 batteries, and you wouldn't need that much for a large grid ship. Because yeah, remember for a bunch of batteries making the same size as ship that you have for um, a regular for like a small block ship, the large the largest battery you can put on, you need 3 of them to equal the power output of a 1 large block battery. And then even with, let's see, you would only get about, I want to say, to get 3 megawatts of power, you're going to need over 9 small block batteries to pull that off
Well,
at 500 apiece.
well, what I was thinking as you were talking, You know what would be cool is small grid, or not small grid, uh, ship like we talked about, but its main armor would be small grid railguns and run a lot of power and just run a lot of custom railgun turrets. And
Yeah, I
just
was thinking about like a big ship also running a big. We need like a nimble frigate that could lob something. Probably going to try and get as close to a Paris class, but kind of unique as possible. If it'll work. Kind of like a pirate Paris class frigate. Like if UNSC misplaced a Paris class frigate and a bunch of space pirates took it over. But
it could happen.
yeah. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna hop off here because I gotta go save my kid from the dungeon that is school right now. So I am Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty, and I'll see you guys next time.